Big news. Christine exposes Kody's heartless treatment towards daughter Gwendlyn. Kody Brown has long been criticized for the way he treated his original 3 wives and their children, and over the years, his actions have only confirmed the claims that he was never emotionally available to anyone outside of his relationship with Robyn. Time and time again, viewers of Sister Wives watched him disregard the emotions of Christine, Janelle, and Mary, often dismissing their concerns with cold responses. Now, with Christine speaking out through her recent book, the darker side of his behavior has been exposed even further. She shared an incident that shocked fans all over again, Kody refusing to attend their daughter Gwendlyn's wedding. It wasn't just the refusal itself that angered people, but the way he responded to his own child's tears. Gwen cried and begged her father to reconsider his decision, hoping that he would put aside whatever issues he had and be there for one of the most important days of her life. Instead, she was met with an icy response. He told her not to cry in front of him to try to manipulate him. Those words were cutting enough to make anyone's heart sink, and Christine's revelation brought to light just how much emotional abuse her children endured under Kody's roof. The heartbreaking part for fans is the double standard he always seemed to have. Over the years, Kody repeatedly referred to Robyn as delicate, fragile, and tender. He would rush to her defense whenever she cried and made sure her emotions were carefully protected. Yet when it came to the rest of his family, especially his children from his earlier marriages, that same consideration was never extended. The contrast is stark and painful for those who have followed the Brown family's journey. Watching a father dismiss his daughter's emotions while protecting another adult's every tear creates a sting that is hard to ignore. Christine's words cut deep into this reality, and for Gwendlyn, it became another wound in a lifetime of painful experiences caused by her father's absence of love and compassion. Gwen has not been silent about her feelings toward her father either. She openly admitted that her childhood was never a happy one. Growing up in the chaotic marriage between Christine and Kody, she often felt abandoned, neglected, and invisible. According to her, her mother longed for love that never came, while her father directed his attention elsewhere. Gwen remembers the favoritism Kody displayed, giving special treatment to other children and leaving her and her siblings to cope with the sense of being unwanted. The scars of those years remain with her even today, and she has been clear in saying that she cannot forgive her father for what he did to her. In her eyes, he not only abandoned his responsibilities as a husband but also failed in the most important role of all, being a father to his children. Adding to the painful memories, Gwen recently revealed another part of her childhood that left fans stunned. She shared on Instagram that she had suffered from measles as a child, a preventable illness in today's world. For her, it was a reminder of how vulnerable she was growing up, but for fans, it connected to a bigger story. The Brown family had long been rumored to hold anti-vaccine beliefs, and many recalled old stories of Kody allegedly spreading measles within the family after refusing vaccinations. This revelation hit a nerve because it wasn't just about emotional neglect anymore, it was about health and safety, the very basic responsibility any parent should prioritize. To hear Gwen talk about her struggles as a child and to then connect it to her father's choices only deepened the disappointment people felt toward Kody. The outrage surrounding Kody's refusal to attend Gwen's wedding grew rapidly after Christine's book hit shelves. Fans were furious not only at the decision but at the cruel words he used toward his daughter. To tell a child that her tears were nothing but manipulation is a line that many believe no parent should ever cross. It reinforced what Christine and her children had been saying for years, that Kody was emotionally abusive and unwilling to see past his own pride. When placed side by side with how he treated Robyn, the hypocrisy became glaringly obvious. Robyn's tears have always been accepted by Kody without question. Even when the other wives accused her of using tears as a way to get out of trouble or to gain favor, Kody defended her. He was consistent in protecting her emotions, but when it came to his other children, those same tears became weapons of manipulation in his eyes. Fans pointed out the hypocrisy immediately, with many blasting him on social media. One viewer sarcastically commented that apparently everyone's tears except Robyn's were considered manipulative. Another wrote that if they had been in Gwen's shoes, they would have rescinded Kody's wedding invitation the moment he said such a thing. What made the situation even worse was the revelation that Kody only changed his mind about attending the wedding once producers discovered the situation. Christine explained that it wasn't fatherly love or a change of heart that led him to show up, but rather the pressure of production. For Gwen, the entire experience was tainted by the fact that TLC producers forced her to sign an NDA. She had no choice but to go along with what they demanded, leaving her wedding day overshadowed by family drama and corporate control. Instead of a day filled with joy and unconditional support, it became another painful reminder of her father's inability to truly be there for her without external pressure. For fans, this was perhaps the cruelest part of the story. A wedding is meant to be one of the happiest days in a person's life, but for Gwen, it carried the weight of her father's rejection and the reality of being a pawn in a television production. The disappointment with Kody has reached new heights among viewers who have followed the Brown family for years. They have seen him dismiss his original wives, belittle their concerns, and now, according to Christine, emotionally abuse his own daughter. The image that emerges is of a man who chose favorites, who cared only for appearances when cameras were rolling, and who consistently failed to provide the love and support his children needed. Gwen's story is particularly heartbreaking because it encapsulates everything fans have criticized about Kody: his coldness, his hypocrisy, and his inability to put his children above his pride. As more details from Christine's book come out, the picture of Kody as a husband and father continues to unravel. For many fans, it's not just about the failed marriages anymore but about the lasting scars his behavior has left on his children. Gwen's voice has become especially powerful in this conversation. Her willingness to share her pain, to call out her father's neglect, and to admit that she will never forgive him has struck a chord with viewers who have watched her grow up on screen. She represents the perspective of the children in this story, the ones who had little choice in the family dynamics but who endured the consequences of Kody's decisions. Even with all of this criticism, Kody has not shown signs of changing his behavior. He continues to live in a world where Robyn's feelings dominate, while the voices of his other children remain ignored. For Gwen, the damage has already been done. She has found love and built her own life with Beatrice, but the shadow of her father's actions lingers. Her wedding day, which should have been about joy and new beginnings, was instead marked by emotional turmoil, cruel words, and the realization that her father's presence was never truly for her but for the cameras. That painful truth will likely remain with her for years to come, just as the scars of her childhood have. Fans of Sister Wives continue to express their anger and heartbreak, not just for Christine and the other ex-wives but especially for the children like Gwen who had to grow up under the weight of neglect and favoritism. The backlash against Kody is stronger than ever, with many labeling him a father who failed his family. For some, the comparison between Kody and TLC producers has also become unavoidable.